Greetings Guardians. This is Olympus Alliance. And today we're fanning the flames hotter than ever, because we're talking about the Dominion's fire siblings, Kayla and Aiden, and their top 5 teams in Hero Wars Alliance. Kayla and Aiden aren't just strong heroes on their own, they're a duo that bends the battlefield. Kayla dives into the front lines with acrobatics, burning herself and her enemies with inner flame, while shredding armor with Phoenix's fury. Aiden keeps her alive with resurrection and constant health scaling, turning her reckless chaos into an endless cycle of power. Together, they create a loop that's hard to break, and when you pair them with the right allies, they become the centerpiece of some of the most devastating teams in the entire game. Today we're going to cover the top 5 Kayla and Aiden teams. We'll explain exactly how each squad works, which synergies make them shine, and why these lineups are so dangerous in the mobile version of Hero Wars Alliance. So, let's dive straight into the fire. Team 1, Julius, Kayla, Zesha, Peach, and Aiden. This lineup is the perfect balance of durability, armor shredding, and consistent damage. Julius stands at the front as one of the strongest tanks in the game. His shields and defensive boosts ensure Kayla gets enough time to trigger acrobatics and inner flame. And with Kayla, time is everything. The longer she's standing, the more she burns, slashes, and builds health. Aiden is of course the anchor. Every Phoenix's Fury resurrection loop ties directly into his Phoenix's seal. Together, they force the enemy to kill Kayla multiple times, and every time she comes back, she's harder to put down. Now, Peach is where this team gets interesting. She's a physical buffer and debuffer. Her skills reduce enemy armor and boost her allies' physical attack, which perfectly complements Kayla's kit. When Peach strips armor from the opposing team, Kayla's Chakram and Retaliatory Strike cut deeper. And when she boosts allies' physical attack, Kayla scales even harder as the centerpiece. Finally, Zesha brings the finishing touch. While Kayla and Peach focus on crushing armor and dealing physical punishment, Zesha punishes low magic defense targets with her deadly rays. It's a double-layered offense: physical pressure from the fire siblings and Peach, magical sniping from Zesha. Together, they break teams from both ends. This team works because it doesn't rely on a single damage type. Julius anchors, Kayla and Peach shred armor and scale physical power, Aiden sustains and Zesha deletes backliners. Balanced, dangerous, and perfectly tuned for long fights. Team 2, Kayla, Soleil, Folio, Polaris, and Aiden. If Team 1 is balance, Team 2 is pure chaos. This lineup leans hard into damage, disruption, and overwhelming the enemy before they can stabilize. Kayla begins the show with Phoenix's Fury, instantly stacking health and resurrecting Aiden if he's fallen. Soleil jumps in with buff and debuff, and more important, his allo protection to front hero, in this case, Xils, punishing enemies with consistent burn damage. Fire-driven chaos heroes side by side creates non-stop pressure, forcing opponents to deal with multiple threats at once. Then we add Folio, and suddenly the battlefield gets even messier. Folio thrives on disruption. His AOS scatter the enemy team, breaking up formations and keeping control out of their hands. While Kayla is diving and Soleil is burning, Folio ensures the enemy can't regroup or properly target back. But the real star here is Polaris. Her pulsing comet stuns enemies, and thanks to her Aurora Borealis, every ally takes 50% more damage buff. That means Kayla's retaliatory strike hits harder, Soleil's will protect stronger, and Folio's AOS become devastating. Polaris doesn't just control enemies, she amplifies the destruction, turning every hit from her allies into a finishing blow. And through it all, Aiden keeps Kayla alive, feeding her resurrection cycles and giving her the healing she needs to survive in a flame's self-burn. This team isn't about patience. It's about overwhelming your opponent with non-stop fire, control, and amplified damage. A storm of chaos where Kayla and Aiden stand at the center. Team 3, Julius, Kayla, Yasmin, Goose, and Aiden. This lineup mixes Kayla's chaos with Yasmin's precision assassinations, and it's brutally effective. Julius once again anchors the team, soaking up damage and giving Kayla room to trigger acrobatics. Kayla brings her usual frontline fury, cutting armor and building health while spreading chaos within a flame. Yasmin, however, brings surgical destruction. While Kayla is spreading chaos across the field, Yasmin dives into the battle and eliminates priority targets one by one. The combination of wide area damage from Kayla and surgical strikes from Yasmin overwhelms most teams, forcing them to defend against both mass pressure and focused assassination. Goose ties it all together. He boosts critical hit chance and provides healing, which benefits both Kayla and Yasmin. For Kayla, more crits means Phoenix's fury and retaliatory strike hit harder, while Goose's healing helps offset her self-burn from inner flame. For Yasmin, the crit boost makes her backline assassination nearly unstoppable. And as always, Aiden is the glue. He keeps Kayla coming back, stacking her health, and ensuring the chaos loop continues. This team thrives on pressure from multiple directions, chaos from Kayla, crit-fueled assassination from Yasmin, resurrection cycles from Aiden, and crit/heal support from Goose. A deadly, high-tempo composition. Team 4, Julius, Kayla, Tempus, Folio, and Aiden. This is a team built around control of tempo. Julius sets the front line, Kayla dives, and Aiden sustains as usual. But Tempus is the difference maker here. Tempus is all about freezing the flow of battle, stopping enemies mid-action, delaying their ultimates, and giving his allies the breathing room to strike. When Tempus locks down the enemy formation, Kayla can safely dive in with acrobatics, knowing retaliation will come slower. Inner Flame ticks more effectively when opponents can't instantly answer back. And every cycle of Phoenix's fury comes out at just the right moment thanks to the extra tempo control. Add Folio to this setup, and the disruption becomes absolute. While Tempus stalls enemies with control, Folio spreads damage and chaos, forcing disarray in the enemy lines. This creates perfect openings for Kayla to land retaliatory strike and for Aiden to sustain her during the self-burn. This lineup isn't the flashiest, but it's incredibly effective. It plays on timing. Tempus ensures the enemy can't find their rhythm, Folio scatters their formation, and Kayla burns them down while Aiden keeps her alive. It's tempo manipulation at its finest, with Kayla and Aiden turning that control into victory. Team 5, Julius, Kayla, Polaris, Peach, and Aiden. The final lineup is about amplification. Every part of this team is designed to make Kayla and Aiden even more oppressive. Julius keeps Kayla alive and team protected with shields, no surprises there. Aiden is always present, ensuring resurrection cycles and health stacking keep her on the field. But then comes Polaris. Her stuns and 50% damage amplification make Kayla's retaliatory strike terrifying, Aiden's supportive flames stronger, and every physical attack from the team count double. She ensures every single skill from Kayla lands at maximum impact. And Peach complements this by stripping armor and boosting physical attack across the board. With Peach on the team, Kayla's attacks don't just hurt, they cut through even the tankiest frontliners. And because Peach buffs physical allies, Kayla scales into a monster damage dealer faster than usual. And let's not forget the damage deal from Peach and frontline focus. It's the perfect balance of offense between Kayla and Peach. This team's power lies in how it multiplies everything Kayla does. With armor stripped, enemies stunned, and resurrection cycles rolling, Kayla becomes a flame that cannot be extinguished. So Guardians, let's recap. The top 5 Kayla and Aiden teams give you multiple flavors of destruction. Team 1 balances durability and dual damage pressure with Peach and Zesha. Team 2 creates pure chaos with Soleil, Folio, and Polaris amplifying every hit. Team 3 mixes O-Chaos with Yasmin's assassinations, fueled by Hus. Team 4 controls tempo with Tempest and Folio while Kayla burns freely. Team 5 amplifies Kayla's damage with Polaris stuns and Peach's debuffs and buffs. In every case, Kayla and Aiden are the heart of the team. She's the chaos engine, diving, burning, and shredding. He's the anchor, sustaining, resurrecting, and keeping her loop alive. Together, they force enemies to fight on their terms. And that's why they're one of the most dangerous duos in Hero Wars Alliance. And that's it for today, Guardians. Which Kayla and Aiden team do you think burns the brightest? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts and your own combos. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to Olympus Alliance, and ring the bell so you never miss the firepower we bring. Stay tuned, stay sharp, and as always, salute and friendship.